What is up, everybody? My name is Adam, otherwise known as Young NBA Analyst. Before this video starts, like I always say, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Young NBA Analyst and TikTok at Young NBA Analyst. I'm posting a lot of content on there. And today, we're going to be going through the 2020 NBA season, what it was like, and because, the coronavirus thing is going on. Hopefully, they're going to finish it out. Hopefully, they'll try to maybe continue. I don't know. We don't really know what's going to happen. But I'm just going to go through the whole season. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Coming out of free agency, the expectation was sky high for some teams. You had Kawhi, who got traded to the Clippers. Anthony Davis went to the Lakers. So many things happened during free agency, and it was one of the craziest off seasons ever. And there were so many expectations, but many things were surprising. And you know what? It was a great start to the season. Everyone was hyped up for what was going to happen, and it was just amazing. So heading into the season, there were some guys that really surprised us, and there were definitely some teams that really surprised us. The Miami Heat was one team that was super surprising. I've already made a whole video on the Miami Heat, but they came out this season looking incredible. Okay, Jimmy Butler turned out to be a great leader. Kendrick Nunn came out of nowhere and scored like 40 points in his debut. Tyler Hero was amazing. Bam Adebayo broke out and literally is now a top 3 most improved player candidate. So the Heat were amazing. Were an amazing surprise this season. And the Grizzlies were a nice surprise too. Ja Morant has had a solid rookie season. He's my rookie of the year. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been playing great, and the whole Grizzlies just kind of surprised us all together because they drafted really well with Ja Morant and Brandon Clark, but no one would have thought they would be the 8th seed right now. Everyone thought they weren't going to be contending quite yet. I mean, they're not really contending, but no one really thought they'd be a playoff team, and they are a playoff team. They're that good, and they're a great surprise. And the Raptors were amazing too, because obviously Kawhi got traded to the Clippers during the offseason, and that kind of hurt the Raptors, or so we thought. A lot of NBA fans thought, oh my god, the Raptors, they're probably going to be pretty bad this season without Kawhi. But they proved us wrong. Pascal Siakam took another step to that next level. He went from being one of the last players in the rotation. Then last season he was really good and won the most improved player. And then he took another step this season and he was an all-star starter. And it wasn't just Pascal. Obviously Lowry was playing great. They had a bunch of great role players like Terrence Davis. Marcus Gasol was playing well. Rodney Hollis-Jefferson, Fred VanVleet was also playing amazing. Chris Boucher, all of them are really doing extraordinary, and it was really nice to see because I'm personally a Raptors fan, and they proved us wrong, and I loved it. And I also want to talk about the Celtics because the Celtics were a team that they traded Kyrie Irving and Al Horford for Kemba Walker and Enes Kanter. So, we weren't quite sure how good they were going to do, but what was really good about that trade is that Kemba Walker does not have as big of an ego as Kyrie Irving, and he was able to take a step back to let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown really do their thing instead of being kind of led under Kyrie Irving. We all know he struggles with leading a team. So that really helped them, and it helped Jason Tatum. He's been doing awesome this season. Jaylen Brown had a breakout season. And the Celtics are literally contending in the East this year. And they're looking really solid. And of course, we can't forget to talk about the Hornets, because coming out of free agency, they made probably the worst decision I've ever seen. They gave Terry Rozier, who is a very unproven player, who had one good playoff run in 2018, they gave him a 4-year, $58 million contract. I don't really know why they did that. It was a part of the whole trade that got Kemba Walker there, but that's way too big of a contract for an unproven player. And it was probably the worst decision. Everyone, including me, thought, oh my god, the Hornets are gonna be at the bottom of the league, the very bottom of the league. They're gonna suck this year. They're gonna be trash. But what we didn't know at the time was, okay, yeah, Terry Rozier, he's been playing decent. Cody Zeller, he's been playing decent. And other guys have been playing decent, like Miles Bridges and Malik Monk and others. But what we didn't know is that Devontae Graham would wake up and just somehow have a huge breakout season. He's my candidate for most improved player this year, and he's fully deserving of it because no one saw it coming. And last year, I think he even got some minutes in the D-League and stuff. And this year, he just came out, and he's not a star, but he's putting up some pretty impressive numbers. So the Hornets, although they're not like in the playoffs, they're not at the bottom of the league. And I also want to talk about the Thunder, because the Thunder were a team that we didn't think they'd be that good because they traded away Russell Westbrook for Chris Paul. And we weren't really sure what that trade was going to do because we all thought Chris Paul was washed up, but he clearly proved us wrong because he made the All-Star team. And since Steven Adams wasn't literally controlled by Russell Westbrook's stat padding, he can actually kind of do what he wanted to do and be the dominant big man that he is. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a huge breakout season, and he's a most improved player candidate. And they have other great role players like Dennis Schroeder, who's a top 6 man of the year candidate, and they also have Danilo Gallinari, a 20-point per game scorer on a good night. So yeah, Thunder were a pleasant surprise. And I want to mention some players in particular that had really good seasons. And I want to start off by talking about Brandon Ingram because he's a top 3 candidate to win most improved player this year. And everything worked out so perfectly because, as we know, LeBron kind of like was the leader of the Lakers, which is fine. But Brandon Ingram kind of was more of a role player kind of role. And he couldn't get his numbers up that way. But then once he was traded to the Pelicans, then he finally got to lead the team because Zion got injured, obviously. And he broke out, and I think we all expected that. But now he has a young team to lead, and it's going to be amazing to see what's going to go down in the next 5 years. They have a great young core in Brandon Ingram, Zion, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart and others. So yeah, really excited to see what Brandon Ingram's going to do. And I also want to talk about Luka Doncic because coming out of his Rookie of the Year season, he had very high expectations, and he more than exceeded those expectations. Already, he's 20 years old, he's in his second season in the NBA, and he's literally like an MVP candidate and like an arguable top 5 player in the NBA. Like, if that's not crazy and insane, then I don't know what is. But Luka wasn't the only one who had an amazing sophomore season because Trae Young put together an amazing one of his own. Trae Young, coming out of his rookie season, also had very high expectations, and just like Luka, more than exceed those expectations. Okay, him and Luka both became all-star starters this year, first-time all-stars, and although Trae Young's not on the same level as Luka, he's definitely going to be one of the best players in the league in 5 years or so. And if we're talking about the 2020 season, then we can't forget the amazing and incredible trade deadline, because obviously some big things went down that day. D'Angelo Russell got traded to the Timberwolves, which was probably the biggest move of the day, but also Andre Iguodala went to the Heat, Andre Drummond went to the Cavs, and the Rockets completely went small ball by getting rid of Clint Capella and bringing in other guys like Robert Covington. And initially, when they first introduced the small ball strategy, I was not a fan of it because I thought, okay, well, where's the rim protection going to come from? How are they going to stop guys like Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, and Rudy Gobert? Like, how are they going to stop these guys down low? But they might be onto something because, going small ball, yes, you lose that rim protection, but they have some amazing perimeter defense, and a lot of their offense makes up for that. And they're probably onto something because Russell Westbrook really benefits from this. James Harden's obviously best scorer in the league. But what really helped with this is when they acquired Robert Covington. I'm not even 100% sure if this would work without a guy like Robert Covington because he's one of the best defenders in the league right now. There's not a player in the league I would not be comfortable with Robert Covington guarding, and that's just that's my opinion. But Robert Covington, he's a very good defender. And what's good about that is that although this team has a lot of offense, they need some good defense. Because, their rim protection isn't quite there because of, PJ Tucker's their center. But, yeah, it's solid. And they might be onto something. Hopefully, if the NBA, maybe pushes it back and they continue the season, we're going to get to see. Maybe the small ball strategy will work in the playoffs. It definitely worked in their debut, but that was just one game. You can't really judge it off that. So yeah, we'll see. But man, this was one heck of a season. There are so many great things that happened this season. Like crazy stat lines, Dame going off, scoring 35 plus points in 6 games in a row, and other crazy stat lines. The All-Star break was amazing. The Kobe Bryant themed All-Star game, RIP Kobe Bryant, by the way. And all the skills challenges were amazing. Rising Stars, everything was really cool about All-Star Weekend. And what was really good about the season was I was so excited for the playoffs. Like, obviously, coming out of free agency, we all thought, oh yeah, the Lakers and Clippers Western Conference Finals. We all saw that coming. But the whole West and East side was supposed to be really, really cool. I was gonna see, how the Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, and Heat would do on the East, and how the Clippers, Lakers, Jazz, and Nuggets would do in the West. So I was really excited for this year's playoffs, and hopefully we're still getting it because I really, really want to see it, and it would really help solidify some people's careers because maybe Giannis will get to the finals, and maybe LeBron will win another championship, which will heavily contribute to the GOAT argument. Or maybe Kawhi will win another championship and maybe build up his GOAT legacy some more. And with that being said, that'll wrap up today's video. So make sure you guys subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. Make sure you guys like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And with that being said, always remember, clutchness forever.